A spherical balloon with radius r inches has a volume of V of r, which is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. We want to find an expression that represents the amount of air required to inflate the balloon from a radius of r inches to a radius of r plus 1 inches. And then we're going to express the answer in terms of pi and r. First, let's just consider a picture. Okay, I'm going to draw, let's say that this is a balloon that's not inflated yet. So even though I'm creating this little small balloon that should not be inflated, I just kind of want to give you an idea here. It's always good to kind of paint a picture, okay, and draw a picture to find out what's happening. So this is our balloon that's not inflated yet that has a radius of r. Okay, now let's say that we have our balloon now that we want to now inflate to be r plus 1 inches. So that means now this balloon is going to expand to r plus 1 inches. So that means now that this radius is going to be r plus 1 inches. So what does that mean? That means that we have two volumes. Okay, so that means the two volumes represented are the following. We have volume 1 of r, which is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. And then we have another volume of r plus 1, and that's going to equal 4/3 pi times r plus 1 cubed. Okay, so again, this represents volume 2, and this one represents volume 1. So that means that if you look at the picture, we want to be able to subtract volume 1 from volume 2 to be able to figure out what is the expression that's going to represent the amount of air that's required to inflate the balloon. So in step number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to take volume 2 and subtract volume 1. So what does volume 2 represent? Well, we know that that is 4/3 pi times r plus 1 cubed. And then we're going to subtract volume 1, which is 4/3 pi times r cubed. And so now we want to be able to solve. So let's go ahead and solve this expression. The first thing we want to do is make our math a little bit, our computation of math, just a little bit more easier. So what you look at is two terms that have a factor in common, which is 4/3 pi. So we factor that out, and then what's left is r plus 1 cubed minus r cubed. Okay, so now we got to start using some of our algebra. So let's bring back some of the algebra here. And so here we need to find the sum of cubes. In this case, this is r plus 1 cubed. So we have r plus 1 cubed. And so that means we're taking r and then cubing that. So it's r cubed plus 3 times, well, r is a, so that means we're going to square the r. And then b is 1, so times 1 is just 3r squared. Plus 3r times 1 squared is going to be 1. So it's just plus 3r, and then plus 1. So now in step number 5, we're now going to replace r plus 1 with what we did here, which is r cubed plus 3r squared plus 3r plus 1, and then minus r cubed. And now we can simplify by combining like terms. So we can eliminate the r cubed since they're opposite signs. And so our expression is going to be 4/3 pi times 3r squared plus 3r plus 1.